Hello everybody, this is a Lamley unboxing slash showcase. Once again, Matchbox Moving Parts D case. Last Matchbox Monday we did the C case, which was loaded with cool cars like the Porsche and the MR2. Really cool stuff. Well, now we have the D case. We're going to go ahead and open it up. This came from our friends at Mattel. They sent this one over. And we're just going to pull out the cars. Like I said, the unboxing portion of it is a little anticlimactic because we know what we're looking at. No surprises, no chases, nothing like that. And we start with the 1964 Buick Riviera, casting we've seen in several colors, in several lines, kind of a throwback to an old moving parts model way back when Matchbox really didn't designate one or the other. Whoop, I'm just fumbling this all over the place. And this looks really nice. Wait, no, is this... No, the Grand Prix is what I'm talking about. The Riviera is new. Is this a new casting? I think this is a new casting. I come all prepared to kind of just go with the Grand Prix, and sure enough, this is a new casting. So let's take a look at it. It has the opening parts. I'll try and show you what that looks like here in this glary sun, but that looks very nice. Classic car. It's so funny. I was just thinking this was the Grand Prix. Even mentioned it was the Riviera and didn't even think anything of it. So you're seeing in real time as I figure out that this is not an old casting. It's a new casting and it looks amazing. This might be the highlight of the case now just because of how cool this is. And we'll talk about this in a little bit. Yeah, we've seen a Buick Riviera and Hot Wheels. They've done it a couple times, but this one looks really nice in that very Matchbox style, stock style. I think that's one of the reasons that we have two of these in the case. So that's really cool. Nice highlight. Didn't even realize it was. So I need to break away for a second because as I was doing the turntable shots after filming the video, I don't know if it came out in the video. I have to look that maybe this looked a little off. But I'm showing it to you now because it shows all the pieces together, or like how it's supposed to look. But if you may have noticed, it looked a little off because if you look, this is the second time I've accidentally, or I just didn't notice that I have an unspun error here. Notice the rivets, the rivets on a normal car are all smashed so that the car holds together. So I thought I would do this live. These are just unspun, so it did look a little off. You can just take the whole thing apart. Interior, windows. Oh, there's like a little, oh, this might be for the opening doors. Oh, like a little kind of a piece maybe to hold them. Yeah, see the doors come apart because when it's unriveted, when it's unspun, even the windows come out. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? So on the turntable, you'll see it correct, but yeah, when it's unspun, you can just take everything apart. And that's one of the additional pieces, I think, to create a little bit of the spring in the door. Yeah, just a little side note. I pulled an unspun Riviera. Cool casting. All right, back to the show. All right, I'm going to talk about this one in a second. I mentioned in the C case that I was going to showcase that truck, and we'll do that in a second because we got others to look at, including this one, Mazda MX-30, casting that in light blue, debuted last year and hung like crazy. It was just not a model that folks were that interested in, and I don't blame them. It's a little boring. It's a nice replica of a car that, I don't know, just doesn't conjure anything. I like this about Matchbox. It fills in some cool gaps. I think we need to support them doing this, but I understand it's not going to generate the same amount of interest, but I like that Matchbox does do these cars. It's just too bad that they do hang, and I anticipate that this one might do the same thing. But it is, I think we can all acknowledge it's a really nice casting. Put that there. Next one. One we've already seen. I've already showcased the Bentley Continental, so we're just going to move on from that one. It's just, they do these holdovers, repeats. This one's very nice. 2020 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat. Nice to see. Sometimes you wonder if they can put the word hell, but they did on this one, maybe because it is considered kind of a collector line. And it is the Hellcat Charger, and it does look awesome. In light blue with the black rims, you can see the Hellcat logo there on the side, grille, detailing. It's just nice and clean. I think I've mentioned this, I'm not a huge fan of the moving parts because I think I like the look of the cars just in general. And in this case, like the opening hoods, as long as they sit flush, don't get in the way as the doors, the same way the doors do. I don't mind them if they're done right, but I actually just prefer the $1 basic versions. of these cars. And in this case, this Hellcat looks amazing. I'll try and open up the hood. Looks like they didn't do the detailing there. That's okay, because it did get the front and rear detailing, which looks nice. So that's a very, very nice version of the Hellcat. Color is so cool with the black rims. So this is a good case. Here's one. 2016 BMW i8. That's exactly my point, because they have a basic version. Matchbox has done a basic version of this one without opening parts. I like how innovative this was in creating the scissor door style for the BMW, but they had to do it in plastic, and this has been a complaint ever since, is that the colors never can match. And I'll just say it. What a cool color, but I wish this was just on the standard version of this casting without the opening doors, because it would look so much better without the two-tone, the inadvertent two-tone version of this. It just doesn't work. And I appreciate that they tried, and I appreciate that they've tried to be innovative, and it's cool that these doors, I mean, I think we can all acknowledge it's cool that they've made these kind of do the scissor door thing, but it just, with what you get displaying it, that the colors don't match, that's just kind of a bummer. So there's that one. And then finally, before we get back to the truck, here is the one that is a casting that I love since it debuted last year in yellow. It is the 1975 Mitsubishi Lancer Celeste. And this is a great one. Let's get that one opened up. Celeste. That's just not the Celeste. I just start reading, and opening hood right there with the detailing. This one looks really cool. I love, once again, they've actually given this front detailing, rear detailing, and side detailing. Yellow looked nice. I actually like this color better. So far, this is the best version of this casting, in my opinion. But we're only 2 in, right? So it also showed up in the Japan series too, right? I think that looks really cool. Let's talk about this truck. So this is good. I mean, peg warmer with the Mazda. Really cool new casting with the Riviera. BMW is going to be a peg warmer only because it doesn't totally work. Celeste is awesome. Hellcat, I think, is going to be really popular. Let's talk about the 1963 Ford F100. I decided on the angle of this one. There's the opening hood. And that I would just pull out some of the classic trucks that Matchbox has done in the past. And we'll go through them pretty quickly, but we'll put them on the turntable for a second. This is by no means all of them. This is just what they've released in some of the trucks that they've released. I just grabbed the ones that I have in my collection. So there's others that I didn't add to my collection, but I think that these are just so good, so cool. And, you know, Hot Wheels does a lot of classic pickups, but I love what Matchbox does in that they're very stock looking, and they're just, I don't know, there's just something very classic. The word classic really is retained in the styling of these pickups, starting with this one. This is what's the year on this one? Is it the 63 Chevy C10? I think it's the 63. I can't read it in the chrome base. But that one had the opening hood. This casting has been released in several versions. This one might be my favorite of the classic trucks, is the Chevy Stepside, 1975 Chevy Stepside, a.k.a. square body, a.k.a. the OG when it comes to square body castings. We give a lot of credit to the Hot Wheels one, which it deserves, and all the other square bodies. We've seen some Auto World and everything, but this thing was released in like 2006, 2007, maybe 2008. And it's been around so long, and it's just still super clean, super cool. It's actually the first version of the Stepside. I think that's one that is really, really fun to collect. I'll move the camera down a little bit. This is the Dodge, right? I always have to read it. In 1957 Dodge Swept Side. They've done some other like 50s era pickups. This is the only one I have in the collection. I don't know if it's going to stay in the collection because I like more of those 70s, 80s era pickups, but we'll do what we do with that one. Here's the other Dodge, the lifted. Which one is this one? D200, 1968 D200. I like it lifted. Looks really good in the with the extended cab and everything else. Really nice monster pickup in a sense, even though it's not a monster truck. Going back to the classic era, another Ford in Moon Eyes livery. We've seen it in others as well, I think. 1958 Ford, which is a nice complement to the one we're going to show in just a second. So we had that one in the Moon Eyes livery. I also think this one fits from Jurassic World last year, the Ford what is this? This is also the F100, right? F-150, 1986, and I think 86 is definitely classic enough, but that's I can't say square version, but the very like kind of rigid version of this pickup, which is highly recognizable, and I would consider that a classic. Another that's way up on my list with the step side is the GMC step side, another one that was released I think around 2009, 2008, and has had several cool versions. It's a casting that I am 100% collector on. This is the first version that was released in that color. Pulled out the Jeep. Thought we would put the Jeep in there as well. There's a wagon version of this one, but this particular one of the what was this casting called? I don't even think the name was on it. I can't remember. You know, it's so funny because I'm blanking on the name, and you guys will tell me because I'm totally forgetting. That's what happens when you're filming the videos. But this one, several colors as well, which I have every version of that. And then the last two, actually, I would consider them American pickups, but they are Japanese companies. The D21 is fantastic. I like Hot Wheels version lowered, but I really like the stock version with those really appropriate graphics that Matchbox puts on this one. What's the exact name of this one? 1995 Nissan Hardbody. Really, really good casting. Really, really cool versions of that truck. I didn't even do the Junior. And then the Subaru Brat. Well, it's not necessarily a pickup. It does fall in this vibe. Great, you know, Japanese maker, but great American car, in my opinion. Love the back seats on that one. And I just love this casting. It's one of my favorites of the last few years as well. So with that family being there, you add now the Ford pickup, 1963 Ford F100, and you can see how well this one fits in. Love the lines. It's been done beautifully. It's got that grille that predates some of the later versions of the Ford truck. You see this version kind of show up all over the place. The color on this one is amazing. They've done some cool detailing in the bed, which looks really, really nice. And you get the Ford detailing embossed in the back. You get the front grille in chrome. And let's check. I don't know if the engine has been done or not. Yeah, even the engine has been done. I don't know if you can see that in the light, but that looks so good. This is a great casting. This is one that I can tell you right now goes into the collection because this kind of classic, just the truck you're going to pass by, an old truck that's kind of sitting kind of rusted that the farmer's been using forever and ever. It's got that look. It's got that vibe, and I absolutely love it. You guys tell me what you think about this mix. You collecting these? I hope you are. A lot of these are really, really cool. Nice group. The C and D mixes of moving parts. Some great stuff coming out. Love that I got surprised by the Riviera. You guys tell me what you think. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Mattel, for sending this. Bye.